what you're thinking. What a ridiculous title for a film and for this review. I promise I won't be eating your organs in any minutes or less. However, I hope it will only take me 5 to convince you to see this film. It may be pretty predictable in places. It does pander to a lot of cliches. And it tugs on the dramatic side at times, but its overarching message is one I've been pondering since leaving the cinema. What does it mean to be alive? And if I throw that question over to you, what would you say? I'd say this film does a damn good job of making you question that answer. My name is Isla, and this is my review of Studio Vollin's I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. If you've read the manga or the light novel or seen the live action, then you'll understand the meaning behind this film's name. But I hadn't seen any prior material before going into the anime, so I assumed it was either about a pancreatic disease or the beautiful artwork was a clever marketing attempt to hide a film of the cannibalistic variety. Well, it was the first, but our secondary protagonist Sakura makes no attempts to hide how much she enjoys eating animal organs. However, she goes through great lengths to hide her illness from everyone. Until one day, our nameless main character finds her diary that she's called Living with Dying. Sakura decides to tell him everything and he promises to keep her disease a secret, but their shared knowledge brings them closer together and the film follows their growing relationship in Sakura's final months of living. Death is the ever-growing, overarching shadow that permeates this movie. It cuts through each sweet, funny scene that our protagonists share as the knowledge of Sakura's imminent end is around every corner, making the entire movie feel bittersweet. But that sadness is always balanced against humour, and the way the extroverted Sakura bounces off our introverted MC makes for some lovely shared scenes. And these moments are a mix in terms of animation. There were points I was struck by how genuinely lifelike it all felt, such as the way Sakura thumbs through a book or that moment in the rain. But just when the animation is reaching its peak, it switches to still shot montages that, while well drawn, take us out of the animation, going from feeling like a theatrical cinematic experience to a TV movie. However, if you close your eyes just for a few moments, the quality of voice acting is what shines through, especially Lynn's. She speaks chemistry without visuals, and is able to portray Sakura's cheerful personality and underlying sadness all at once, notably during the fireworks scene. This moment is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas' triumph piece, and is set in a place that is so very dear to my heart. It gave me goosebumps, made me wish we were heading for a happier ending, and really highlights the talents of not only our leads, but the animation staff, the composer Hiroku Sebu, and the unlikely writer-director of this film, Ushijima Shinichiro. For a man who's only ever directed episodic action anime, Ushijima is a surprisingly emotive writer, translating the novel's saddest moments into beautifully animated snapshots. But he's still a work in progress. The film's final half runs on a little long and could have had a more devastating impact if 20 or so minutes had been cut off the end. Yet throughout its almost 2-hour run, there were a few smattering moments of brilliance that made me think, given time, Ushijima could develop a style that really sweeps the audience off their feet. And while this doesn't have the emotional euphoria of a Shinkai film, or the imagination found in Hosada's, or the heart in Yamada's, it does shine brightly enough to move an audience to tears, and powerful enough to deliver its message: finding meaning in being alive. While I Want to Eat Your Pancreas isn't quite the powerhouse that it could have been, it's still more than worth a watch and full of small surprises, the most notable in our nameless protagonist. He is without a name for a reason, so keep that in mind as you watch the film to the very end. Don't skip the credits, and don't skip this anime. Because I'd like to leave you with 3 final points. First, my recommendation that it's certainly the underdog anime film of 2018. Second, I'd like to assure you that the ridiculous name goes on to make sense. And lastly, with a quote from Sakura that I can't stop thinking about. Every day is worth the same, no matter how you choose to spend it. So spend yours exactly how you want to.
君は真似しだしていつの間にか膝の上で眠っていたき寒いのは嫌って体温分け合って僕は凍える